What's up, guys? Welcome back to Faith Podcast. Today, I get to sit down with my best friend, my brother in Christ, the Bryce Crawford. How you doing, Bryce?
What's up, Josh? Feeling good. Thanks
Dude,
for having me on.
Yeah, man. It feels good to be in your seat.
Yeah, Josh is sitting in the podcast seat that we do all the episodes in, and I'm in the opposite seat. So
It feels so weird sitting down like this. Usually, we're like sitting down in the living room, but now we're here.
now we're here. Let's go, bro.
Okay, Bryce, I was thinking about some questions to ask you. Two things that stick out to me when I think about you is faith and boldness. So we're going to talk about that today.
Let's do it.
Talking a little bit about faith, I kind of want to hear your story. I pretty much know it, but just for the people watching, like, I think one of the biggest steps of faith was before you moved to LA. And when you were living in Florida, deciding, hey, should I go to college? Should I not? Do I move to LA? You're living in Florida, working super hard. Tell me a little bit about that and the people watching. Just like, how did you take that first step of faith to now stepping into YouTube videos? What did that look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, right after I became a Christian when I was 17, after I got saved in a Waffle House, I was always sharing my faith. So I literally started by running up to people, telling them that Jesus loved them, and then running away before they could respond because I didn't have the answers to their questions. So I'd always been sharing my faith. I'd always been bold, I guess you could say, trying to start conversations, tell people about Jesus because I had experienced the antidote to my heart sickness. And I knew if God could do it for me, he could do it for anyone. So after high school, I moved to Destin, Florida, and I worked on boats for like 4 months. And I was really trying to run away from some problems I was facing at home. Like just in my home state, I was facing a bunch of different problems. And so I was running from them, moved to Florida, and I kind of backslid a little bit from the faith because I was working 12 hours a day, every day for 4 months straight, no break. I never took off days. I think I took one off weekend, and it was 3 days out of that whole month. Like, wow. I was working every day, trying to see if money would satisfy, because I was running from problems. So I moved locations. I tried to distract myself from my problems. And because I distracted myself and I had no personal intimacy because I was working 12 hours a day, I backslid a little bit and lost that relationship with Jesus, that personal aspect. And so after the 4 months, I made a poor decision when I was running from my problems. So if I'm being fully transparent, when I was in Florida, I was in this weird rebellious stage where I didn't want to submit to my parents. So I was supposed to go to in-person college, and I dropped out without them knowing.
Crazy, man.
No one knows about that. I dropped out of college without my parents knowing because I was in a rebellious stage of life. And so me and my parents ended up reconciling. I apologized. And so I told my parents, I was just like, let's do online college. So I'm still an online college student. I graduated in the spring.
Wow.
But I've been doing online college since that day. So the Lord redeemed it, reconciled. I'm still doing college. So I switched to online. And when I moved back home from Florida to Georgia in August, after the tourists were gone and the business slowed down there because I was working on boats, I got home and I was just like, God, please take me somewhere where you will draw me closer to you, because I don't want that to happen again. Whatever happened to me in Florida, don't want it to happen. And no one knew I was backsliding and distracted and struggling in my relationship with Jesus because I was trying to run from my problems. And if you're listening out there and you think that running from your problems is going to solve it, your problems just follow you wherever you go. It doesn't mean you just because you change locations doesn't mean your problems go away. So I went home, and I was actually supposed to be a part of this event in Dallas, Texas, and no one knew I was struggling, but I was there. I showed up to the event. I was a part of it. And that was during that time I was praying, God, take me somewhere where I can go closer to you. And at this event, I was supposed to be leading a prayer on stage. And when they passed me the microphone, I get hit by the presence of God, and I don't even speak. I just pass the microphone to someone else. So I didn't even say anything. I was just getting hit with the conviction of the Lord and his presence, and going, man, what mattered was not the things I was trying to distract myself with, filling myself with, but what mattered was God's love and his presence transforming me from the inside. And I was met with that in a moment. And so I just passed the mic, didn't even say anything. So that whole day I was just continuously praying, God, show me where I'm supposed to go. And throughout that day, maybe 5 people throughout that day that weren't connected were all just like, Bryce, I think you should move to Los Angeles. I really feel like God needs you there. Or,
Wow.
man, Bryce, you should move to LA and talk to people about Jesus. And I'm over here thinking, LA is the last place I need to go. Like
Right.
where I'm from, LA is Sodom and Gomorrah. Like no one goes to LA. No one comes to LA and LA is wicked and going to fall in the ocean. And that's
Right.
what people think about it. So about 5 times throughout the day, and I was like, nah, what is going on? And then one of the only 2 people I knew in LA at the time that night called me and said, Bryce, pray for me. My roommate just moved out of my room. So I'm responsible for more rent. I got an extra bed in this place and don't know what to do about it. And I said, don't let anyone take that room. I'm coming. So a week later, I moved to LA because God had made it so evident to me that I needed to go to LA. And it was crazy because my prayer was, God, take me somewhere I need to grow closer to you. And God took me to the darkest city in America, which doesn't make sense. And I don't think God does that for everyone, but that's what the Lord spoke to me. Anyways, I get to LA. I don't start off by making the YouTube videos. I was doing everything. We were doing a Bible study on Wednesday nights. We were leading a house church on Sunday nights with a group of friends. I was doing a homeless ministry on Friday nights in Venice Beach. And by myself, I'd ride a bird scooter around LA and pray for homeless people and hand out sandwiches to the homeless people. So I was doing a little bit of everything. And I think that's the call to believers, is the Great Commission. Now that you've been impacted by Christ, go impact people with Christ because he lives inside of you. That's the Great Commission. And so I was just walking out what the Bible was telling me to do. Go make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Teach them everything that you know. And so I was doing a little bit of everything for about a year. And then I started traveling with my mentor, Marcus McFarland, for a year, submitting to leadership.
Let's go,
learning
man.
what it meant to be an evangelist across the nation, not only just in my hometown, in where I was living and across the nation. And then I just kept praying, like, God, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? And so the YouTube videos is just a byproduct of what we were already doing in private.
Yeah.
And so I had a dream. In about May of 2023 where God was telling me to stay in America and to reach the nations and America by going to the darkest cities, places, and events in America, recording the conversation and encouraging believers to step out in faith. So I have this dream. I wake up crying at like 3 a.m. when I have this dream, and I knew it was the Lord because I don't dream. I just go to sleep and wake up. A week or 2 later, I go to this retreat where Josh is at.
Yeah.
And Josh and I are hanging out, and I'm like, man, Josh, what do you want to do with your life? And he goes, man, I want to capture things on video for God. And I was like, well, that's pretty crazy because I just had this dream where I feel like we are supposed to capture things, where I was like, I feel like I'm supposed to capture things on video for God and encourage believers. And Josh was like, whoa, this is wild, because I think you were in a transition season, right?
Yeah, man, I was just chilling in life.
Josh was transitioning, and so Josh was praying about it, and I was like, man, I want to do this. And so Josh said, it's a go. So I flew out to where Josh grew up in DC, met with his parents, and just kind of was like, hey, I feel like God's calling us to start this ministry. I'm going to do my best to take care of Josh in LA, cover his rent, pay Josh, because I believe that God has called us to do this. And with something as far-fetched as that, being, 21, 22 years old, living in LA, the most expensive city in America, the darkest city in America, all by ourselves saying, hey, we're going to start a ministry, that can be intimidating from a physical standpoint. Josh's parents were like, okay. They didn't push back at all to me when I was there. What was your experience on that?
Dude, I remember, I was just so down just because of like your passion and your dream when you were first telling me in Arkansas. But I remember like us going to like the Palestine protest.
Oh yeah, that was like we left that part out. Dude, we did a test video at a Palestine protest when it first was like going ham because was that? Yeah, because it happened in DC, big Palestine protest, and we did a test, and God gave us so much favor. The video is up on the channel, on our channel. If you go look it up, it's up there. But we did the test video, and then
I just remember like in the basement we're like talking about going, and I like go upstairs to my parents, and they're like, "Bro, you are not going." And like my parents being freaked out because they're not even used to that. Like, I mean, I've seen like Todd White do like evangelism videos. I mean, some other people, but like really like it wasn't being started. I haven't seen videos. My parents haven't seen videos. And so like my parents are like, bro, you're not going to this protest. Like that's crazy. And next thing you know, we're driving to DC to the protest.
Yeah.
And dude, that was just so fun. What a crazy time. Just two young kids not knowing what we were doing. And yeah, that was crazy. My parents didn't want me to go, but then we just went.
Bro, that was, and I knew when we went to the Palestine protest, when we did the Palestine protest, I knew God was on what we were trying to do, because there were thousands and thousands of Muslims in the street chanting, screaming, pushing, shoving, lighting things on fire, like all this stuff. And we were in the midst of it, and Muslims were letting us pray for them in Jesus' name. Muslims were letting us preach the gospel to them.
Yeah.
And all this stuff. And I knew God was on what we were trying to do, and God had protected us in that moment. And so pretty much after that, I remember us editing the video in the basement, and we were so pumped to get that thing out, because we were just like, oh, we're doing this. We're doing this. We're doing this.
Yeah.
And Josh's parents agreed. And then Josh planned to move at the start of the year in January of 2024 to come out. We started the nonprofit in December of 2023 to raise money the way a church funds their employees. You tithe and donate to a church. The church pays the bills, pays the pastor, pays the leadership. The same way we were like, there's people that want to do what we're doing, but can't do it because they have families, jobs, college, school, etc. But they have the resources to fund what we're doing. So we started it. And in January 28th, you moved in.
Yep.
I built us a bunk bed.
Yeah, you did.
3 dudes in one tiny little thing. Josh, our other roommate, Tanner, and me.
And then we got a child.
Moses.
A dog.
Yeah, Moses.
A dog.
God, we had to clarify that one.
Dude, that was crazy. I always look back to those times, like us starting these videos in an apartment, 3 people in one room. We're on bunk beds. Tanner's right next to us. We're sharing the same bathroom.
Yep.
And I'm like, man, what in the world were we thinking when we were like, hey, let's go get a dog? And then like you and Maddie drive to go get Moses and come back. And now it's 3 guys and 1 dog in this small room in LA.
And if anyone's wondering who takes care of the dog, Josh stopped taking care of the dog 8 months ago.
Hey,
Tanner and I have been pulling the weight, but it's okay. Moses is great.
Yeah.
And he's awesome. He's actually in the podcast studio with us right now. But yeah, and dude, honestly, those times were so sweet because God was birthing a movement out of this crammed, small apartment in LA. And it was just the places that God was taking us was insane. I mean, we were finding Satanists at the library, Satanists in the street, the Hebrew Israelites, the Muslims, the Buddhists. We came on the Hindu festival. Santa Monica. We just went to Santa Monica one day to film, and we roll up on the Hindu festival.
Yeah.
God would bring people to us. Salem, Massachusetts, all this, the whole 9 yards, the Burning Man festival.
Yeah.
Because we were committed to encouraging believers with the gospel. And you know, and now it's cool too, because now we're multiplying. The ministry started as a 2-man group, you and me.
Yeah.
And now, which by the way, all the videos Josh filmed in all 24, all the podcasts, all the videos, Josh put in the blood and sweat equity into this ministry because he believes in the gospel going forth. And now Josh is literally doing the very thing, the multiplication of the ministry. Now Josh is being raised up. Now Josh is being sent. Josh is hitting the streets, and Josh is recording the podcast. And you know what's crazy is a lot of people don't even know this about Josh, which I'm going to brag on Josh.
Oh man.
But when we were going to Josh's home in DC, before we drove up, Josh and I visited some friends at Liberty University. And I was just getting so pumped because we were like making the ask for Josh's parents. And I remember us being at the gas station and Josh praying for people, us going and Josh, like the lifestyle that you see Josh doing is what he was doing off camera. And, you know, I can vouch for myself with my words and say, hey, the lifestyle we've been videoing on camera is the lifestyle I was living beforehand. But the people closest to me can vouch for that as well. And if you're someone making evangelism videos or preaching on the internet, and you're not living that lifestyle on camera, off camera, and you're not living that lifestyle off camera, then you're being a hypocrite. You got to live the lifestyle off camera. That's what it's about. That's why in the Gospels, Jesus says, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, lest you be seen by others. If the whole reason you're filming evangelism content, the whole reason you're starting a Christian podcast is so that you can be seen by others, Jesus says you've already received your reward, public praise.
Yeah.
You've already received it. That was not the whole point that what we started. God birthed the movement in our hearts, and we want to see other people birth evangelism in their lives and keep the movement going. We want to make disciples and see laborers sent out. But the point I'm making is if you're only doing it to be seen by others and you're not doing it off camera, you've lost the point. To vouch for Josh, Josh was living this lifestyle off camera. And that's why I believe the Lord brought us together, is because Josh's heart was to see lost souls saved. My heart was to see lost souls saved. And God brought two equally yoke-minded friends together and brothers to come together and plow a movement. And that's been just the most beautiful thing.
Yeah, man. That's so fun. I'm so thankful for our friendship. Like, even just living together, like just having a brother that encourages you, is there for you, like in all aspects of life. I'm super thankful for you. And I remember you read this book before we started the ministry of 5 levels of leadership, right?
Yep.
And like, it's like talking about a level 5 leader is someone that can make a disciple and do the same thing that they're doing, reaching the nations. And I just want to encourage you and just like affirm you, like, bro, you're doing that, bro. You're a great leader. You're a pioneer for the kingdom. And because of this past year, watching you, filming you preach the gospel and share your faith and your testimony, that sparked even more faith in my own heart. And now I'm trying to do the same thing, and it's so fun, man. Like,
let's go, bro.
Dude, yeah, that's the call for us Christians, is just to go out and make disciples of all nations. And a verse that came to my mind when you're talking about just these steps of faith, going from Georgia to working in Florida to dropping out of college, is all of that. This verse, Psalms 23, verse I think 6. It was like, in God's goodness and his mercy will follow me all the days of my life. And I think it's so cool, bro, to see God save your life in Waffle House, to see him lead you to Florida and be faithful to you then, and then to lead you to Los Angeles, one of the darkest states in America, and still his goodness and his mercy are following you, bro. And I just think like it's cool to look back, bro, like in the times where like we're struggling or it's hard, like the whole time God's goodness and mercy was following you. What was your favorite event or video that we did together? What was it?
Burning Man.
Burning Man. Oh,
1000%.
That was crazy.
Because before we started the ministry, you and I both said Burning Man is probably the darkest place on earth.
Yeah.
On earth. Burning Man is probably the darkest place on earth. And you and I were like, we're going to go there no matter what. We're going to go there no matter what. And we did. Yeah. And we preached the gospel and we saw souls impacted. And that video impacted people and God pulled through. Yeah. And that was so cool. And that was like, yeah, that was so sweet. And getting to Josh and I took a picture in the desert, and I framed it for Josh and I to have. And it's just so cool. I look at that picture all the time in my room and I'm just like, dang, that I can't believe God's faithfulness brought us there. Yeah. God planted that in our heart. But that was by far. What's yours? What was your favorite
I would say my favorite was probably Burning Man as well, just because like what you said, like we wanted to go there so badly. Yeah. And even talking about faith, I think that's an act of faith on you. Like, just like, I don't think people know like the finances that have to go into a project like that. Yeah. Like that's in a different state, Nevada. Yeah. You have to get these tickets. You have to get a rental car now. And just like that act of faith of like, okay, God, I want to reach these people that are hurting and broken in this desert. Yeah. And I'm going to do whatever it takes. And so you raise money in order to go, and people send you out there. And I just think like, man, that's an act of faith in itself, just to see that, bro. So that really encourages me.
Dude, and we that was the most expensive trip we went on. It was the most expensive trip. And I remember when we were like getting everything lined up for the trip, the hotel, the rental car and everything, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so expensive. But we felt so much peace in our hearts for the trip because God had planted it in our hearts before we started. God's provision was already there. God had been taking care of us the whole year. Now, remember when we uploaded the video, someone tithed to the ministry, and their tithe covered the entire trip. It was crazy. And so I was just like, dang, God really, bro. What the heck?
Bro.
Did you really DoorDash that?
Guys, before this episode, Bryce was saying how he was in Target shopping and he didn't want to get the stuffed animal because he had so many things in his cart. So then I wanted to surprise you with a little gift.
Bro! Moses, get away. It's not a toy. Yes! Gengar!
Bro, what
favorite
Pokemon is this?
Gengar.
Is there a history behind this thing?
Bro, I love Gengar. Moses, get away.
Moses
He's trying to attack the thing. Gengar! Oh, I'm obsessed with Pokemon right now. I got Josh hooked back on it too, like the collecting the cards. And I love Mewtwo and I love Gengar. Dang. I can't believe you did this, bro. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
I'm geeking. I can't wait to send Maddie a picture of this. I literally told my girlfriend last week, I was like, Maddie, I really want a Gengar stuffed animal. And Maddie was like, well, I would never get you that. That thing is so weird.
That's so funny.
But I love it.
Dude, that's amazing.
You want to
set throw it back there?
Put that in the closet.
Moses might get to
get a hold of it. Yeah, look at it. He's loving that thing.
Dude, yeah.
Thank you so much, bro.
Yeah, of course, bro.
But anyways, going back to what we were talking about, because I got ADHD that distracted me. Yeah, someone tithed to the ministry and just sent a number that they felt led on their heart, and it literally covered the whole trip. And it just rocked my world because I just knew God's provision for what we were doing, having that set on our heart was so true. And I think it's so true, not just from a financial standpoint, but all standpoints. When you're faithful with little, God can trust you with much. And when God saw you and I being faithful years before in the faith, trying to steward the friendships that we had that weren't Christians, steward the people that needed Jesus, those things, God could trust us with something like stepping out in a big step of faith, like going to Burning Man and preaching the gospel, and God showed up. Yeah. So I thought it was cool.
Amazing. I also have another favorite video. Okay. And this, I feel like, probably means the most just because of how much we were keeping up with this guy. If you guys know Security Shay.
Yes. Yes.
Absolute legend on the streets. Dude, I remember like just going constantly. Like we'd just come out of our apartment, hang out with Shay, hang out at his tent. He's like giving us a tent tour. Yep. We're sitting down with him. You did a Bible study with him, bro. That has to be one of the most meaningful videos that we filmed just because it wasn't just a one-time thing. You just kept going. And even off camera, you guys like don't know this, but even off camera, Bryce is going to Shay. Bryce is going to Shay's friends. Bryce has like 5 homeless people and he's at like Jersey Mike's with them, just sitting down with them at Jersey Mike's. And I'm like, bro, that has to be some of the most meaningful times that we've had last year.
Yep. Yeah, dude, that whole, it was like a homeless discipleship group we were doing. And it was so funny because we had Patrick, Shay, Hope, and then we had Miranda, and then there was one other guy that would show up every now and then. But I remember like this one time doing one of Security Shay's friends, Patrick, had a Bose speaker that he would ask us to charge for him at our apartment. And so we were charging it, did a Bible study with him. I left to go get Patrick's speaker for him and bring it back. And it took me about 15 minutes total to walk back from the bridge to our apartment and go back. By the time I came back, after we had done the Bible study, now I want to put something in perspective really quick. I remember growing up and going to youth group, and the youth group was just trying to make sure that we weren't kissing each other in the parking lot. We weren't, purpling up, if you know the...
No purpling.
All that stuff. So I felt like a youth group leader, but on steroids, because after I had left the Bible study to just go pick up the speaker and come back, one of the dudes was doing crystal meth on the street corner. And I'm like, Patrick, come on, bro. We just had Bible study, and now you're doing crystal meth out of a 7-Up 2-liter bottle on the side of the road. What's going on? And Patrick was great. Shay's great. We still see them, and they're amazing. But that's been such a fun. So that's been fun.
Yeah,
that's been so fun.
Yeah, something I think I'm so curious to know is how do you keep loving other people? Because like you love your family very well. You're always going back to Georgia, spending time with them. You call your mom a lot, your parents. You love your friends and your roommates very well. Like you love to the max, and then you love Maddie, your girlfriend, so well. Honestly, I've learned so much dating and relationship stuff just from looking at the way you love Maddie. Like, bro, you sacrifice just like everything to love somebody so well. And so when you have all these people that you're loving, and then you go out in the streets, how do you get filled up to then love even more people that you don't know and you might not see again? But then even there, you're loving them to the max, doing whatever you can, buying them food, water, giving them finances, or just like speaking life into them. How do you love people so well, Bryce?
I used to be selfish, used to be prideful. I used to only care about myself. And then when I got met by the love of God in Waffle House and realized that God has sacrificed more for me than I can fathom, and really understanding the love of Christ on the cross has empowered me to sacrificially love people. Because when you meet people in the street, you're not going to get anything back from them, maybe. You might not see them ever again. When you meet people at restaurants, at the gym, and things like that, you may never see them ever again. And human beings are inherently selfish. And so the only thing that empowers me to love is the love of Jesus. That may sound cliche, but if you don't have the eternal, unperishable, most radical love empowering you to love people, you're going to fail people.
Yeah.
Also to Matthew 25. Matthew 25 convicts the crap out of me when I read Jesus describe, "For I was hungry and you gave me food, for I was naked and you clothed me, for I was thirsty and you gave me drink. What you do to the least of these, you do unto me." Knowing that every human being has infinite value because they're made in God's image, and the price that God puts on every human being's life is his own life. Knowing that every human being has the same value that God values me at.
Yeah.
That empowers me. And I was actually reading the book of James the other day when he's like, hey, if pure religion that is undefiled before the Lord is visiting widows and orphans in their affliction, meaning like if you see a hungry person and you say, hey man, God bless you, hope someone helps you, and you walk away and you don't do anything about it, what was the purpose of that?
Yeah.
What was the purpose of knowing that there are people dying and sick and that are in need of the antidote and the hope that you have, and you do nothing about that? And when I think about that, even when I'm tired, even when I don't feel like it, even when it's an early morning on an Uber ride to the airport, even when it's a late night after a long 3-week travel and I'm getting a ride from the airport, even when it's super late at night after the gym and I'm tired and I need to get food and this and that, and there's a homeless person outside of the Chipotle, what am I going to do? Even last night, there's a homeless lady outside of the Panda Express with a sign that just says, I'm extremely hungry. Can someone help me? And the Panda Express was packed full of people. And no one even acknowledged this lady that's sitting outside of this Panda Express with a sign that says, I am extremely hungry. Can someone help me? And when I walked up to this lady just to look at her, her smile was overjoyed at the fact that I just looked at her and saw her.
Yeah.
And not only that, when I was able to meet the need, her smile of just being like, thank you so much. And when I looked at her and told her that I loved her from the depth of my heart because the love of Christ is compelling me, I'm sitting there filled with this holy rage inside of me that's going, there is a restaurant full of people that I've watched overlook this lady. What's going on? What are we doing? And what we do to the least of these, we do unto him. And we show no partiality. And I think when I think of Matthew 25, it just compels me in this radical way to love people, you know? But also being, you know, filled myself, I have to take care of Bryce's heart, you know?
Yeah.
It's like that analogy, you know, when they say if the plane's going down and the oxygen masks come, you're supposed to put your oxygen mask on first before you help other people. In the same way, if Bryce doesn't take care of his heart, how will I properly know how to cater to the needs of other people if I can't spiritually take care of myself?
Yeah. How can you give something you haven't received?
Yeah.
And I think it's like super important. And even in the mornings, like just getting filled up by the love of Christ. So then when you go out, you can love people well.
Yeah.
It's so amazing. There's been a lot of tragedies recently, and people in the faith, pioneers in the faith, just dying. And I think it sparked a lot of people's faith in their hearts. And even for you, I've seen like a shift in you where like you're crazy bold. We were at FurryCon, and Daniel and I like saw you just speaking to furry, and I just saw you speaking life, and like it didn't look like you were holding back. You were just sharing truth and love. And so as you go out into the darkest places in America, how do you keep that boldness in a scary place, a dark place? And how do you be bold for Jesus in a time like this?
I just believe time's running out. And when you believe time's running out, you have this supernatural urgency to meet people where they're at with grace and truth. Grace is a free gift that we don't deserve. Truth is the thing that sets us free, not our feelings, not our emotions, but the truth. And the truth is Jesus Christ. I've been in seasons where I've had too much grace and no truth, and that caused compromise. And I've had seasons where I've had all truth and no grace, and that's just crushed people and crushed myself. And the balance to have grace and truth is love. When you love someone enough, you're able to pull the gold out of them and also call them higher outside of their lifestyle of sin. And we don't have time to play around. We're living in a day and age where people are turning to ChatGPT more than they are the Holy Spirit. We're living in a day and age where it's cool to be biblically illiterate and not cool to be biblically literate. Well, I'm telling you right now, it's cool to be biblically literate. It's cool to obtain knowledge and wisdom is knowledge applied, like we learned this morning at church.
Yeah.
And we are living in a time where Satan is waging war against everything, causing people to be lazy, causing people to be passive, causing people to get so comfortable that they're turning to literal robots, AI, and other things to do work for them instead of using their brain that God is gifting them. We're slapping God in the face every time we're becoming lazy and saying, God, I'm not thankful for the body and mind that you've given me. And I'm just tired of seeing people waste their life. And I don't want to waste my life, and God has radically changed me. You know what? Charlie Kirk's death was not in vain. What the enemy meant for evil, God's turned it for good.
Yeah.
And because a pioneer of the faith has been struck dead, instead of the sheep scattering, there are sheep rising up. And the devil has caused thousands of Charlie Kirks and bold Christians to rise up.
Yeah.
And so instead of scattering and cowering down because of tragedies, a tragedy and multiple tragedies have occurred, we should rise up and be bold because the hour's at hand.
Come on, man. We have to live light in light of eternity, knowing that there's eternity on the other side of death. And like, bro, souls are the only thing we can take to heaven. We're not even like necessarily taking it, but that's the only thing going into heaven. And I think like things of this world is so silly, but we have to realize like how you saw that lady out of Panda Express last night. I didn't even see her, bro, but you saw her, and you saw her rightly, and you saw like that she's a human and she has a soul. And I think that's just living in light of eternity, knowing that we can't waste time, and people matter, hearts matter, souls matter. That's super cool. 2 more questions. All right, you ready?
Hit me.
I'm gonna throw a fun one out, bro. If you could have a superpower, and this superpower could be anything you want, what would it be?
Flying.
Why?
I think it'd be so fun.
Interesting.
The reason why I hate flying is because I don't have control of the plane.
Yeah.
So if I could fly, I know I'd be in control. I kind of trust myself.
Dude, I don't know if you guys know this, but when the plane shakes, bro, Bryce is buckling down. He's holding on to the armrests. He's tightening that seatbelt, and you're prepared.
Bro, I will freak out. I'm not brave. There have been instances where my girlfriend has comforted me on the plane.
Hey man, that's what they're there for.
Amen.
To be there for you. That's interesting. And you get to skip LA traffic.
Yep, and you skip LA traffic. And you just get places faster. And you feel the wind.
That'll feel good. Maybe look to your left, see a bird.
Yeah. Look to my right, see a UFO.
Bro, honestly, talk about it. I think today was the anniversary for people raiding, what's that place? Area 51.
Is it really?
Yeah, today's like the anniversary when that time happened. I was doom scrolling.
That was the time. I remember
earlier.
when Jack Doherty made a YouTube video going to Area 51. I know that's so random, but I was in like freshman I was like a freshman in high school when that stuff was going down.
No way. That's so funny, bro. And last question is, in the midst of the storms in life, how has faith been your anchor?
In the Gospels, Jesus says to build your foundation on the rock, because when you build your foundation on the sand, when trials come your way, it fails. I've tried to put my foundation on a whole lot of different things, and every time it failed, but I would turn to those things because it became familiar. But Jesus Christ is perfect, eternal, and unwavering. He's created everything, and he's got the whole world in the palm of his hand. So when I build my foundation on him, it doesn't matter the trials, the storms that come my way. I can be secure. Psalm 23, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. When a sheep is in the midst of a shepherd, it can rest in any environment because it knows it's protected.
Yeah.
In the same way, because I know I'm with Christ, I can rest assured and lean on him because I don't have to fear anything because I'm leaning on him. And when I trust God and not in other things, I find the ultimate peace and satisfaction. And when I've attempted to trust in other things, even in moments that I've been a Christian and I've tried to turn to other things, God has been faithful to me.
I think that's so good, bro. When you said the word unwavering, that word struck me, because like in the midst of wind and crazy waves, and tides just pulling you left and right in life, like God is unwavering. He's that anchor. Like you can be still, you can have rest.
Yep.
Knowing that he's the anchor. And I think about this story when God is sleeping and all the guys in the boat are like freaking out, like, bro, what's happening?
Yeah.
God, do you not care? And he's like, bro, like, have faith in me. I told you we're getting across. Like, have faith. Like, rest with me, in fact. Yeah. And I think that's amazing, bro. Bro. Guys, Bryce loves Pokemon.
Why did you get another one? Where did you get that from?
Dude, it just appeared behind there, bro. There's a portal.
Bro.
But, dude, I want you to do a live unpacking, bro. Come on. We got the Destined Rivals, bro.
When did you buy this? Because I know you didn't buy this.
Dude, I don't know, bro. It just appeared behind.
Was this the one from yesterday?
I opened and repackaged it.
Well, you opened both of them yesterday. Josh and I have been opening Pokemon literally every day. But Destined Rivals is my favorite set right now. And, well, when this episode comes out, Mega Evolutions will be out. Yeah, Mega Evolutions is my favorite.
Are you going to stay outside a store? Wait in line?
Oh, 1,000%. I am. I got a box early. I went to a Pokemon convention like a week ago. And some guy came in with the boxes early, and I bought 2 off of him and had the most fun I've ever had in my life with Pokemon.
There you go. Dude, that was a clean
clean rip. Clean. I don't know if they saw that, but and then the card trick is one from the top. I'm shaking because I got the thing. Do I do it this way?
Let's do it, bro.
Can I see?
Come on. In Jesus' name, it'll be a good card.
Jesus' name. That'd be crazy if we pull something wild on. Okay, reverse hollow. Reverse hollow. Oh, Mewtwo, let's go.
Gosh.
It looks dope.
Is that Mewtwo?
Yeah, it's not the chase card, but it's good. It is cool art. So we got Mewtwo. And Mewtwo's my favorite Pokemon. That's also why I love the Destined Rivals set. That's a great pull for the podcast.
Bro, that is. We need to get a sleeve on that after this.
I need to, I'm not letting go of this.
Dude, well, I just want to honor you, bro. Obviously, being friends, you're my best friend, being roommates, seeing you on video in these crazy areas, but also in the day-to-day, just like where nobody sees, like in my room when you come in there, when I always barge into your room, you are the same on camera and as you are off camera. And I think the same way you love people on camera is the same way you love people off camera. And you're a man of integrity. You're a man of faithfulness, a man of love, a man of peace, a man of joy. And even when my life was crazy earlier this year, you were there for me, emotionally, spiritually. Dude, even when I was struggling financially, you were there for me, Bryce. And you're my best friend. I'll never forget all the times that you were there for me. And I love you so much, bro. You're a great man.
I love you too. Appreciate your friendship and all the times you've been there for me. I mean, the countless times that you've answered my calls, answered my texts when we're not together in person, listened to me. You're always intentional asking me questions. I could say the same and 10 times more about you. And I love you, bro. You're the real deal.
Come on, bro. I love you so much. If you had one last thing, like to say, 30 seconds to somebody that's watching this, what would you say?
Stop living on the fence. It's time to go all in or be all out. And we live in the hour right now where you're faced with a decision and the choice is yours. If you choose to be all out, live the ways you want to live in sin, indulge in fleshly desires, it breaks God's heart, but he grants your wish and you'll be separate from him for an eternity. But you and I have the opportunity in this lifetime to do something that not even the angels in heaven get to do. Worship through trials. Be faithful with a choice. Persevere and endure in the faith when things don't go our way. And in this lifetime, if you and I choose to put our faith in Christ, not only do we get to do something that not even the angels in heaven get to do, but you and I get rewarded with an eternity of friendship with Jesus Christ himself. Now's the hour. Put your faith in him. Follow him securely. And those who endure to the end will be saved.
Come on, man. Powerful. Powerful.
Let's go, bro.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Bryce, thank you for being on.
Thanks,
and
bro.
I'll see you guys on the next episode of Anchored Faith.